What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as some of you may or may not know, I am in my graduating semester, and for me, I wanted to start a college series on my channel, but I really incorporate the real about college. So in this segment or this series on my channel, I will be interviewing different college graduates and getting different insights, good, bad, ugly, and different, about their experience after college, and touch on a little bit of their experience while they were in college. These will mainly be HBCU grads. I will try to incorporate a couple PWI students as well, just to get a diverse, but for the main part, I will stick with HBCU because I am attending the HBCU and that's what's home for me. So my first guest on the channel will be Erin, and she will introduce herself now. So stay tuned to see her HBCU experience and her life after undergraduate.
My name is Erin. I'm 23 years old, graduated May 2019, May 3rd to be exact. I'm an electrical engineer major.
Can you just rate your overall college experience? Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, just overall, how would you describe it?
Overall, honestly, there's nothing like college, so I couldn't really give it anything but a 10, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the good really outweighs the bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your best semester or year in college?
I would say my freshman year was the best year.
Okay, why was freshman year best?
I was new, so everything was new, everything was fresh, everything seemed good, everything was, like a breath of fresh air, I was exposed to a lot. I was in band, so I was exposed to a lot of stuff, in band and out of band. So.
Did you have any internships or any research programs throughout college?
I did. I didn't get it until my junior year. I worked with Apple with their college program. It was an get my words together. It was at home.
Okay.
So I did the internship over the summer, and it turned into a part-time job.
How many years did it take you to obtain your degree?
It took me 5 years.
Okay. So we're gonna fast forward into your graduating year/semester. What were your emotions during that time?
So many emotions. Sadness, happiness. Mostly being overwhelmed was the main emotion I felt, because there were senior fees and projects and classwork, and you had to make sure that everything was in order or you didn't graduate.
Right.
And there were times where things weren't in order, so I was, really overwhelmed.
Okay, so fast forward to graduation day. How did you feel on graduation day?
I was lit. That's all I'm gonna say. I was lit.
So what was the feeling like, shaking the president's hand, getting your actual degree?
It didn't seem real at first, until I actually walked across the stage and everything. Leading up to that, I was like, okay, this is not real, this is not real. And then you walk in and see everybody sitting down screaming and stuff. I'm like, this is not my graduation. This is not my graduation. But afterwards, and we turned our tassels, it's kind of like, okay, what's next? Yeah, it's like, all right, you did this, but now it's time to go. So.
Did you have any offers or jobs lined up for after graduation? Like, did you already accept the offer, or were interviews lined up after graduation?
I did. I didn't have my offer until the January before graduation. Yeah, I got an offer from them.
Did you like the offer? Was it a good offer?
No, I'm all for going for the highest bidder, honestly, because engineers, college graduates, we gotta get paid where we work. And like I said, going for the highest bidder. So I was willing to negotiate with them. They were willing to negotiate with me. And that's where I was going until after graduation, I'm like, okay, I really don't want to be all the way up north. I'm from Birmingham.
Right.
So I really don't want to be up north in the cold, first of all.
It's a big difference.
Yeah, terrible difference. I went up there for about a couple of days to get acquainted with everybody, and they were nice, but the weather was super cold, and I was like, okay, I'm not feeling this.
Right.
And then the whole thing with the salary and everything, they negotiated with me, but I didn't feel like it was enough for me. And I was like, okay, well, I really don't need to be up here because the cost of living is high, it's cold.
Right.
So I'm gonna see what other options I have. So I had them like on the back burner, and then I went to see, pursue other options and things like that. That's kind of where it got shaky, because I was stuck between, okay, well, I don't have any offers where I am in Huntsville, so I'm kind of stuck with, I'm going to have to go to Massachusetts because it's the only offer that I have. And, as college students, being a recent graduate, you have about a year time span for you to figure out what you want to do. So you really don't have to rush into getting in the job market because honestly, I don't want to be an adult. Like I would rather be in undergrad, yes, for the rest of my life. So my thing was I had to take a step back and redirect my focus. Okay, it's not all about who is the highest bidder, who is giving, give me what you want. It's about, are you comfortable? Are you happy with the job that they're giving you? So I had to, take a step back, redirect my focus to that. And it took a lot of faith building, a lot of tears, a lot of talking to mama on the phone and her having to give me her words of encouragement and things like that, but got through it. So.
How does it feel going from being in a situation where decisions are almost made for you to the decisions being solely up to you? How does that feel?
That was the hardest part because you never know how a situation is going to turn out until after you make your decision. So it's like I was sitting down in my room before I made the decision to not go to Massachusetts, and I'm sitting writing down, okay, what are the pros, what are the cons, and honestly, it was kind of like a 50-50. So it's scary making those decisions, but you have to man up, be an adult about it, and just do it. Do what you know is best for you. Do what you feel comfortable with. Do what's gonna make you happy, and you will see progress from there. So.
You kind of touched on it a little bit, but what was the biggest struggle you had trying to find a job, or are having trying to find a job?
The biggest struggle I had was, on paper, it didn't look like I had enough experience. And then I'd go and talk fluently about the things that I did. I'm really good at marketing myself and, talking good about myself and about the things that I've done. And, kind of not bragging, but bragging about myself. And then there would be times where we would have to, so within any type of business interview, job interview. You have 3 types of interviews. The initiation interview, which is where you pretty much introduce yourself, tell them, you know, what you know, and things like that. The second interview is like an HR interview where they tell you all the benefits and see if you have any questions about that. The third interview is where you meet everybody on the staff or on the team that you're going to be working with. My hardest part about that was actually making it to the third interview. Once you get to the third interview, you're pretty much in.
Okay.
So that first interview, you really have to nail it because they're like, okay, we need to find out if you're a good fit for us before you figure out if we're a good fit for you. So that was pretty much the hardest part about that.
With us pursuing engineering degrees, even though they are heavy on experience, do you think, because most companies are going to teach you the way that they work,
Right.
so regardless of the amount of experience, you will still be coming into something new. So do you really think they base decisions off experience or appearance?
Now, it depends because there are companies who want a certain image and there are companies who want people to know certain things before they come into the job.
Right.
I noticed with some companies I interviewed with, by the way, I've interviewed with a lot of companies, a lot of trial and error there, but when you go and you interview, you want to check the scene out. You want to see, okay, what type of people am I working with? Is it all male? Is it all female? And a lot of times when you go to that interview, if you're not giving them the answer that they want, then you don't fit the image.
Right.
You know, it's not necessarily about the experience that you have. Now, with other companies, I would say with the bigger companies, because they have so many people, they don't really go about image because they have to fit everybody in. Everybody, I mean male, female, interracial, all of that. So they don't really go about image, they go more about experience. But with the private, more intimate companies, they do go about appearance.
Away from just like the technical part of job searching and whatnot, how do you feel watching your colleagues succeed or move forward?
It's one of the best things to experience. If not yourself, why not be happy for someone else, you know? And then with classmates and things, people you've done projects with, senior design projects with, you've been with them your whole college career, seeing them go and, you know, fly is just the best thing. Especially, you know, being at an HBCU and having all of these independent black people around you is just, it's encouraging. It's wonderful.
So did you never had like an envious feeling or like a bittersweet, I'm happy for them, but you know, I'm not where I want to be? Was it ever that at any point?
Yeah, it was that. Like I said, it's always great to hear of other people's successes, but then they'll hit you with the, all right, so what's your move? Where are you? Like, what's going on in your life? And you're kind of like at this standstill. And I'm like, okay, well, stay tuned because mine is coming. So you got to kind of be patient with that. But never any type of jealousy or anything like that. It was always love.
That's good. Yeah. Do you think college graduates who don't have job offers or didn't accept one feel that they have to go to grad school to make themselves feel like they're doing something?
I do feel that way. I do feel that other people feel they have to do that. But the truth is you don't.
Right.
Your degree is it holds a lot of weight,
Especially engineering.
especially
I know like other
engineering.
majors have to, like education
Yeah.
or like psychology or like social work, they
Right.
have to. But for us, bachelor's is enough.
Bachelor's is enough. You don't have to go step your foot in another school door if you don't want to after that. But I do feel that some people feel they need to make themselves seem relevant to themselves. They need to pursue, other options. If it's not an offer, it's grad school. But you don't have to do that.
Right. So that goes into, with grad school comes more debts, more loans. So my question is, do you have student loans, or did you have student loans?
Do I?
So my next question is, realistically, do you believe you'll be able to pay them off in your lifetime, or will you prioritize like paying them completely off or doing what you can?
I know a lot of people want to say, I'm going to do what I can, I'm going to put little money here, little money. No. I don't want to be paying somebody out of my pocket for the rest of my life. I have a plan to get rid of all my debt in the next 10 years. And I feel like after those 10 years, I'm going to be able to do whatever I want to do with my money, because I'm going to be in control of it, not anybody else. And a lot of older people I've noticed, even my mom, she's like, well, you don't have to pay it all off right now. You don't have to. And I'm like, yes, I do.
Some people, how did you envision your life after graduation? Before you graduated, how did you envision your life after graduating?
Okay, my whole dream after graduation was I was gonna go back to school, get my doctorate in biomedical engineering. I was gonna be a biomedical engineer. Yeah, because I like to, work with prosthetics and things like that. But, as I experienced college and being out in the work world and, seeing things, I'm like, okay, I really don't need to do this. Honestly, I don't need to put myself in more debt, And if I wanted to go back and pursue that, I'll be in a position to have somebody else pay for me to go back and
Right. Is it difficult finding work within your major?
For my major, no, it's not difficult.
Right.
I'll be honest, it's very easy to find work in my major, but the most difficult part is finding a job that fits you, and not just being in a position where you're working a 9 to 5 and you hate it. I don't want to be anywhere for 8 hours and I hate it, because that's just a waste of my time.
Right.
I don't care if I'm getting paid or what. I'm not just about to put myself in that type of position. With your major, you got to find out what your niche is.
Right.
So you may be an English major, but you may not be good with working with kids. You might be good at writing papers or something like that. So find that job that has you writing papers, not working with kids, because you don't like it. You got to find your niche.
What would be your ideal job / career? Would it be like the biomedical thing?
My ideal job?
Yeah.
Is no job at all, getting paid.
Right. So would you go into like entrepreneurship eventually?
Yeah. I've already tried to pursue that. Honestly, I'll be honest. My career, my electrical engineer career is my base for my expenses and things like that, so that I can be able to branch out and do other things. So I took something that I was interested in, something that I could be interested in enough to move forward, took that, got experience, got a degree in it, have that as my foundation, and then I'm going to build from there.
Okay. How do you get used to the scheduling difference between college and full-time? Well, I would say between college and just going to class every day to no class.
Let me tell you, with my job at Apple, I had to quit my on-campus job because I graduated. So I literally had nothing to do. So my brain was still wired for me to wake up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, but I get up, eat, watch TV, lay back down. And it's like I had like PTSD from school. So it was like I wake up at a certain time and be like, oh my gosh, I gotta go to class. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have no class to go to. So I just lay there. So you gotta really be mindful and stay active and, you know, things like that. So
How are you or how do you deal with post-grad depression?
ooh, that's real. Like, it's real.
Okay, before you step into that,
Okay.
what is post-grad depression for you?
Post-grad depression for me. There's so many emotions that you feel after graduating. There's so much pressure on you to figure out what your next move is and how you're gonna go about living. You know, in college we're adults, but we're not really working adults in the career world. So it's a major change from going from I have class every day to I have 7, 5, however many bills you have to pay to survive. So that pressure itself weighs down on you really, really heavy, especially when you're not sure what you want to do or which direction you want to go in. So that's what post-grad depression is. That's what it was for me. Now, how I dealt with it, like I said, talking to mama, she helped me through a lot of that stuff, because she's like, you know, she kept it on my mind that it's okay if I don't have a next move yet, because I just left doing something great, you know. So she kind of kept my mind focused with that, having faith, being persistent. I say that's a big one. Being persistent, knowing if you don't know what you want to do, be persistent in finding out what you want to do. If you do have an idea what you want to do, be persistent in finding out which company does that, or stick with the ideas that you have about the job that you want to do, and stick with that. Don't change. Don't switch gears, because then you're going to shift into a whole new lane with whole new traffic. So yeah, just be persistent, have faith, and that's how you deal with post-grad depression.
So I like that you brought up the whole idea thing, because I see now, since entrepreneurship is like a thing, and everybody is just, they take the smallest interest that they have and they build off of it, but it may not be what they want to do. So eventually, like in 2 months or 3 months, they abandon the idea and go on to the next. So have you juggled with random ideas and putting it out there and then later on abandoning them?
Yes. So my junior year, I started a hair company, selling hair weave extensions. Because work was so overwhelming and there was so much going on, I kind of left it by the wayside. I plan to pick it back up, but at the time, it was like, okay, I'm putting my foot in too much right now. I got to step back and focus on the things that are really, really important. So it's okay to try different things, as long as you're not getting yourself into any more debt than you're already in, as long as you're not exploiting yourself. It's okay. Because we have to try. Like I said, this whole adult thing is about, and career thing is about finding a niche. So to do that, you're gonna have to put your foot into different sections to find out what you want to do, what your niche is. So it's okay to pick something up, say, hey, I might be interested in that, and just put it down. It's okay to do that. Now, I will say this. It took me 3 years to figure out my plan to do that hair stuff. I was trying different brands. I was, interviewing people to make sure that, okay, hey, I want you to try this. Put it in your head. Let me know how you like it. There was a lot of planning that went into it. So I will say, if you're just picking up something with no plan, then it's going to be dead from the beginning. You have to have a plan, and you have to be aware of how that plan fits into your life already. So you have to be willing to implement that plan into your daily schedule. But if you're not doing that, then from the beginning, it's not going to work.
I see that a lot. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
A lot of graduate, all people think about is, what's next? What you doing now? What come to do? They don't ask like, how have you been since graduation? I guess that's why he asks like, how are you doing?
Yeah. Honestly, before this week, I was a little worried, but Monday I got great news. I start my job September the 3rd.
That's good.
Moving into my new apartment this weekend.
I love a good apartment.
Yeah.
I saw, are you still in Huntsville?
I'm still in Huntsville.
So is it in your field?
Yes, it is in my field.
Good.
Yep.
That's good. And my last thing is, what would you tell a college freshman or anybody that's still in undergrad, or maybe even someone that's in their graduating year or semester? What would you tell them if they're watching this?
I would tell them to hold on, because the ride is wild. Stay humble. Know that every move may not be your best move, but it's a move. I would say persevere. Don't give up. And it's okay to not know.
Anything else you want to say? Promote your IG, your YouTube. You can slap it out right now.
Okay, well, my YouTube is coming soon. I will give bro that information to kind of share with you guys later on. But if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Nerds in Pearls. That's NERDSNPEARLS. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for this, and I will see you guys in my next video.
Bye.